Hello internet friends, I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. Today's video is going to be a makeup tutorial on this makeup look. I wanted to do something that was glittery, something with bright lips, something with good skin, and most of all something with a bunch of new products to try. So today that is what we're doing. I hope that you enjoy and let's jump right into it. To start things off, I have a ton of redness all over my face. New day, same story. So I'm going to start off using a green correcting color to neutralize some of the redness on my face, and that is the Urban Decay Naked Skin. I'm absolutely terrified to be doing my makeup in a white shirt. It's like, it'll be fine, it'll be fine. Will it though? Next up, I am going to pop on some of this YSL All Hours primer. As you guys know, I am a part of the YSL Beauty crew, so I get sent some product every month to try out. This month, this was one of the new releases, as well as an All Hours foundation and a concealer, which we are going to try, but I'll get into that a little bit later. So it is super milky, doesn't have much of a smell to it, and it's really, really soft feeling. Really thin too. So primer is on, that sunk in really, really quickly. Doesn't have much of a feeling to it after being put on my skin. It just made my skin feel kind of soft and a little bit hydrated, but it doesn't like make my skin feel super slippery or anything. So as I said earlier, I've been sent a foundation that I'll be trying today, and that is the All Hours foundation from YSL. This is meant to be a 24-hour long-wearing, flawless matte full coverage foundation, so I guess we will see what kind of coverage I get on my face. They sent me the color 45 Bisque, so fingers crossed that'll work out for me. So it's in a frosted glass, kind of heavier luxury style container with a pump top, which I'm stoked about because I love pump top foundations. It really frustrates me when foundations don't have that. Let's give this a go. Now I've been having issues with, so apparently in Canada it's pronounced eczema, whereas in Australia it's pronounced eczema. So I've now learned this as eczema, and I keep calling it that, and everyone here is like, you mean eczema? Apparently I have eczema, or I've now started to get eczema, so around the sides of my mouth and around my nose and on my hands and on my feet, I get these flare-up areas of super dry, flaky, gross skin. So hopefully this won't accentuate that. I have been having problems using any type of foundation when my skin does flare up in that way, so fingers crossed this will not accentuate that and it will make it look nice. So I've pumped out a couple of pumps onto the back of my hand. Doesn't have much of a smell to it. Tiny bit flowery actually. Very, very faintly though. And let's get right in. This color looks like it'll work though. Oh, that is pretty high coverage. Okay. So this foundation is advertised to be full coverage without being cakey. It doesn't seem to be going on cakey. It seems to be sinking in really nicely into my skin. I still can see some of the blemishes and texture around my mouth, but as I said, I'm pretty sure that I'm going to see that no matter what I use. I don't think that I have any foundation in my arsenal of collection that would ever cover that much. The color is pretty bang on. It's a tiny, tiny bit more of a yellow tone than I think I am. But when I put concealer on, I think that I can kind of alter that a little bit. So this is how it looks with one layer. I definitely think that this is more of a medium to high coverage foundation rather than just a high coverage foundation. I still could use a little bit of coverage on my acne scarring on both sides of my cheeks, but the rest of my skin looks super flawless and I wouldn't want to put a second coat of this over top of all of my face. I would just kind of spot treat where I need it. As I predicted, I am having issues in the areas that I do have more seeping eczema, and the foundation is having troubles kind of sticking to those open spots on my face. But like I said, I really don't think that I would be able to find a foundation that wouldn't perform the same way. The only notable thing that I would change about this particular foundation is that it only came out with 22 different shades, and the majority of those shades were very light toned and catered to light skin. I think that it is super important to have these conversations in the beauty industry that there needs to be more representation. So I do think that this would have been awesome if there was a wider variety of shades, but since I do fall into the shade category that is provided, I really like this product for what it is. The Full Coverage 16-Hour Wear Concealer. The product is actually super liquidy, but with that said, it has a hell of a lot of pigment. a lot more than I actually expected. I was thinking that this would be a lot less coverage than it ended up being. I'm going to take whatever's remaining on my beauty blender and just bounce it around the areas that needed some more coverage. That actually covered up almost completely around the corners of my mouth where I was having those problem areas. I can definitely still see texture and a little bit of redness. The only spot that it didn't really cover is in my nose area, but that was pretty janky to begin with. So can you guys see in here? Like, it covered, it's just not completely 100%. So I think that that will definitely need a little bit more powder in like that kind of an area. I'm going to apply some lip balm before moving forward. Oh, my lips look real nice with foundation. I bet you guys are gonna love that for the next 15 minutes. I'm gonna set my under eye area. I'm going to use the Too Faced Born This Way powder and my beauty blender. So today for the eyes, I'm using the Jaclyn Hill palette, and I'm so excited to be breaking this out because I haven't used this in a video yet, and I've only used it once in real life since getting it. So I'm excited to play around with it a little bit more. I was absolutely devastated with how much money I had to pay for this with shipping and with duties. It ended up being over $100, which is absolutely ludicrous for a non-luxury product. But I wanted to support Jaclyn. I did pay for this with my own money. The only feedback that I have on this, other than the colors are absolutely beautiful and you get a decent amount of each product, with the white packaging, it is going to be impossible to keep this clean. Like I said, I've used it once and I've picked it up maybe like a handful of times, and I'm already seeing like around the corners it's starting to get so grubby. Bright lights are really washing it out because it's kind of reflecting as you guys see it. But the second that I touch it, or if there's anything on my finger, it just immediately transfers to the palette. But it's beautiful, the colors are gorgeous, and I am gonna jump right in. Now, I didn't get a paper or a sheet or anything to tell me what these colors were called, which again is a little bit frustrating seeing as you pay so much for it, but I will point out which ones I shall use. And I'm gonna start out with this one right here, just in a fluffy brush, using it all through my crease. So I'm just going to take this through my whole crease, right from the front to the back, using window wiper motions. So today we're going to keep relatively neutral on the eyes except for a bit of glitter, and I'm going to do a bright lip. I'm feeling the lips today. I'm just going to do a little bit of crease contouring, giving a bit of depth to my eyes, and then we'll jump through to some liner in just a sec. I'm going to go into this color over here, mix with a tiny bit of this one up here, and put that more so in the outer half of my crease. When Glenn and I went to the Against Me show the other day, that was the first time that I had popped open this palette, and I did a yellow eye using this gorgeous like mustardy yellow color. It's super pretty. If you guys want to jump over to my Instagram, I Instagrammed a picture of it. But I really enjoy how this palette has such a diverse grouping of colors, and a lot of colors that are super, super basic and usable. I think it's a really good mix of neutrals and bright poppy colors. With my fingers, I'm going to pick up the shiny shimmery shade in this upper corner right here, this guy right there, and apply that just over top of the lid space on my lid. The shimmers seem to be super, super pigmented in this. That actually turned out a lot more silver on my lid than I had intended. In the pan, as you can see, it looks like more of like a champagne-y color. But like right on my lid, it totally does pick up as more of a silver, so I might have to do a little bit of readjusting. So I'm going to take some Mary Luminizer from the Balm, again just onto my finger, and just place that over top, just to make it a little bit more champagne rather than silvery. Cool, and again, just once over again with my blending brush just to make sure the edges are all cool. Let's jumpstart our day and get our blood pressure going by trying to apply some black eyeliner. This one is the YSL Shocking Eyeliner, and let's just jump into this. I like to start from the middle of my eye because I find that I can make the line way too thick if I start closer to the inner corner. I ever so carefully creep closer to my inner corner. And then once I have the liner on pretty much my entire lid space, then I head in for the flick. What I've been really struggling with lately is the angle of my wings. Now, I'm not a makeup artist, and I try my very darndest to make them match, but the problem is one of my eyes is different, and I'm sure a lot of you struggle with the same thing, where it would just be so much easier if your eyes were just a carbon copy of one another, but they're not. And what I need to watch out for my own type of eye shape is that one side, the crease extends further down and interferes with where the line goes. So I have to kind of take my wing a little bit further out rather than up. So let's try and do this. Now this is why I like these pens, is that I can kind of just lie down and press where I want the line to be. I find it so much easier for me to do that than like a proper full out flick right off the bat. You do whatever works for you. Not even close. God damn it! So if you mess up, like I inevitably do most days, I like to use a brush cleaner, which I spray onto the back of my hand. You could also use makeup remover or a wet wipe or whatever you have. An angled brush that I dip into that liquid and make sure that it's not like drippy, but like it's definitely in the brush. And then I will tilt my head back and gently drag it across whatever parts need to be fixed up. And then I clean the brush off, apply a little bit more, make sure that there's no black left on my brush before I do the second line, and I just gently pull it across. Now this can save your look, but it definitely can screw up the eyeshadow underneath. So if you've done like a complicated shadow underneath, you might not want to do wing liner unless you know you're going to nail it, or unless you are okay with kind of adjusting and fixing it as you go, aka adding more black and making it bigger and bolder. That's totally fine. On something like this where I'm using a lighter color, I'm hopefully going to be able to kind of just patch up that little area that isn't ideal. But it happens, and I want you guys to know, and why I leave this kind of stuff in and why I want to talk about this is because not everyone does perfect liner in one go. I know that you guys see it on YouTube all the time. People are just like, whoop. That isn't realistic for the average everyday person unless they practice like crazy, or unless you're just blessed with some eyeliner friggin' genius right off the bat. But it is normal to screw up. Don't worry. Don't be afraid of it. Just keep trying it. So now that that's dried and my computer sounds like it's about to take off, calm down, fan. It's gonna be okay. I'm going into a flat little, what do they call it? Flat definer brush, and I'm going to pick up the color that I used on my lid space just from the Jaclyn Hill palette, and I am going to just edge along that little line to add the color back in. And then ever so carefully, I'm going back in just to make sure that the edges of that black liner is super crisp. Picking up this color onto a smaller blending brush, I'm going to run that along my lower lash line area. Taking some Urban Decay Bondage, and I'm going to apply some glitter to my inner corners, right into the inner corner of my eye, and just slightly up onto the lid space, ever so slightly. And then picking up a brand new pigment. This one is from NYX. It is in the shade Vegas Baby. It is the most gorgeous, like champagne-y gold color. I am going to put some of that onto the back of my hand, and then using a small little flat brush, applying that into my inner corners. Oh my god, that's stunning. Oh my god, I love it. Okay, hold on. Small, sparkly, lots of impact. Oh, I love it. I love it. Using my blending brush, I'm just going to ever so slightly try and drag that glitter a little bit onto my lid space. I'm going to try out a new mascara. This is from Marcelle. It's their Power Volume Mascara. I saw this in the drugstore, and I had previously had a Marcelle mascara that I really liked, so I thought I would give this one a go. Let's see how it is. Packaging is super basic, just black. It feels like it's a little bit more of a drier application mascara, but it seems to be grabbing every lash, that's for sure. I really like that. That did a good job of lengthening and of giving my lashes some volume. I'm excited to try this though without having liner in the way to kind of obstruct my view of what's going on of the lashes. But for a drugstore mascara, I'm liking this. I'm going to pop on some lashes. Today I've decided to go with Tease 2.0 from SocialEyes. These are a 3/4 lash almost. They are a little bit wider than a half lash, but they give you that same kind of cat eye flare that a half lash would, just with a little bit of extra lash. These ones are especially fluffy. Look at that. Pop some glue on. This is, again, from SocialEyes. It is the latex-free quick drying glue. Looks like this. Give it a quick wave. And that is what I love about a good pair of lashes, is that you can apply a pair of lashes on some kind of not really that great eyeliner, and you can make it look really decent just by kind of adding more to the look with the lashes. So, good little tip. I'm going to do my brows, and I'm using the Benefit Foolproof Brow Powder. I really like this product, but I really dislike the little tool that it came with. I think that they just copped out and could have done such a better job with it. So it's this little tiny like sponge tip brush that came in this kit. And I feel like they thought about it and then they just stopped thinking about it, because who wants to apply your brows using a thick little stubby like sponge? Nobody. You want to brush. You want to get precise little even strokes. This is like trying to do your brows with a crayon, so I really dislike that. I do love the fact though that they have a spoolie in one end. I just wish that they thought it through and put a brush in the other and a spoolie in the other, but whatever, you do you, Benefit. So, grabbing onto a brush, I'm going to take the lighter color in that kit and just add a little bit in the inner portion of my brow and move to the outer. I'm going to set that in place using my Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Gel. Using Hoola Light and a dual fiber brush, I'm going to bronze up my face just a little bit. Do I even have a blush out here? You forgot to get blush. I'm going to go with an oldie but goodie, the Milani Illuminating Face Powder onto my blush brush. The highlight that I'm going to use is from Makeup Revolution. It is their Vivid Baked Highlighter, and it looks like this. I always do my collarbones and I feel so left out when I can't do my collarbones. I'll do my shoulders instead. How's that? So for lip color today, I plan on doing like a super orangey corally red. I'm using this gorgeous color from YSL. It is their shade number 17 in their brand new range of lip products, which I'm going to butcher the name. Tatouage? Damn it! Tatouage Couture Matte Stain. I know couture and matte stain, I just don't know the first word, so close enough, but it looks like this. It is beautiful. I love the color. I've already swatched it, but I haven't worn it on my lips, so fingers crossed it is just as beautiful on my lips as it was on the back of my hand. First off, I'm going to apply a lip liner just to make sure everything stays in place for a super long time. The Buxom Plump Line Lip Liner in Intrigue. Lip color on top. Let's do this. I like that the applicator is like a slanted doe foot. I feel like that'll help with precision. And I need all the help I can get. I am living for that lip. And I didn't get it on my shirt. I'm going to finish off by setting my face using the Smashbox Photo Finish Water Primer, which I like to use as a setting spray. So this is my completed look. I hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. I absolutely love looks like this. Anything that includes glitter and a bright lip, you know I'm keen for. So I hope that you guys try this one out and or try some of these products out. Let me know if you have and what your thoughts are. I love to hear your guys' feedback and comments, so please leave a comment. It really helps my channel when you interact. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you so soon in a new video. Bye! It's not easy being green.